I'm Brian Fowler, president of Blind Creek Resources Limited, listed on the TSX Venture Exchange, ticker symbol BCK. Blind Creek is focused in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and British Columbia. The company's key property is the Blend Project, one of the largest undeveloped lead-zinc-silver deposits in Western Canada, plus plans to advance the recently acquired, fully permitted historic engineer gold mine in the Atlan District of Northwestern BC. Check us out at blindcreekresources.com.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Sharon Noble, director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and best of everything, Sharon.
Thank you, Jim, and the very same to you and everybody who's listening.
The smart home effect on insurance. I'm watching all the ads on TV where I just ask my computer to turn on my lights, cook my dinner, open the garage door for the kids, turn on the outside lights, turn them off. All these things are all wired up somehow. Are they covered by our insurance, or have they even anticipated this kind of wiring up of a smart home?
From the recent article that is both from the legal and the insurance standpoint, it seems that they haven't really anticipated this, but it's growing exponentially. According to a recent article, it said that in 2016, and that's just a year ago, there were 339 million applications in the home for things connected to the Internet. They're predicting by 2019, 1 year from now, it's going to be close to 2 billion. I mean, it's growing in leaps and bounds. Everything from our telephone to our thermostat to our refrigerators, everything, our light switches, everything is going to be connected to the Internet. And the insurance companies are now facing major problems because this hasn't been anticipated. These things have software problems that make them vulnerable to hacking. They have technological problems that make them vulnerable to fires. All of this IoT is beneficial. It's a crazy situation, Jim, when you read this article. It says that the insurance industry is embracing this because they're going to be they have access to all this data to, quote, monetize it. They're going to use the data they're gaining from all of this information that's flowing from our home into their databases. They'll sell it, they'll use it, but at the same time, the homes and the insurance are going to face all these problems. Who's going to pay when a home is hacked into? And, for instance, heating is turned off and water pipes freeze. Who's going to pay when there's a software glitch that causes a fire? Who's going to pay because these smart devices are often plugged into what they call dumb devices? And one prime example is our smart meter. The base is, quote, dumb. It was built for analog, and it was never designed or built to handle anything like the smart meter. Yet, when things happen, and they are happening, as we all know, the insurance company is facing the claims right now. They're paying them, and then they're going after the hydro, the utility company, or the meter companies. But when everything else is piled on, when it's the refrigerator or the television or the telephone or whatever, what was the cause of the fire? In this article, they're saying that the insurance inspectors are the ones that generally determine the final cause of the fire. But in many instances, they don't have people who have been properly trained in identifying causes that are so complex and so new. So this is going to be a major thing coming down the road. I will bet you, because I understand insurance companies, they will not lose any money. We're the ones who are going to pay through higher premiums. And more devices are going to be hooked up to the Internet because this is what they want. This is what the industry will benefit from. But we will end up not only being inconvenienced, not only losing our privacy, not only being threatened with fires, we're going to have to pay through the nose for premiums.
Well, I mean, just an example of some of this technology, Amazon will install a door or a lock on your door that they can turn on and off so that their delivery guy can drop off the package inside the house and it won't get stolen by somebody who followed the delivery truck. However, it doesn't stop that delivery person from going through your house and finding out what you have. Apparently, the camera that's attached to this lock can easily be hacked into so that you can't see the image of that person wandering through your house. And you wonder, what if they put in some other counter device that allows them to come back at any other time? And your alarm has to be shut off for 4 hours to give them a window to come in. Well,
and what about the Amazon people?
Yes.
You know, who are they? Where do they live? How do we know that they are honest? I mean, they can have other buddies that they say, okay, we're opening the door because we've got the facility and ability to do this. I mean, it's an invasion, and we're losing control over everything that is private and that belongs to us. It's crazy.
Why don't they have some kind of device that locks it to your door and you unlock it?
I'm sorry?
Well, I mean, if they drop off a package, it's got a chain on it, and maybe have that chain locked up to a lock that you can undo when you get home.
I don't know.
Yeah, you see, they didn't think about doing something like that.
Well, I don't understand why people, you know, really, they could drop it off at the closest UPS place and you go and pick it up.
Or at your office where you're at work.
Yeah. Or your neighbors if you can have an arrangement. I mean, there are alternatives to allowing your home to be open to just about anybody. And once you give it to somebody like Amazon, you know, those are people you don't know. They might not be in this country. They might have connections. You know, look at all the products, the things that are being stolen without even any invasion into your home. Once they've got access to your home, that's scary stuff. What if you're home and they allow somebody to enter in there?
Yes, so we could have a new wave of home invasions.
Yeah.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after the break.
Hi, I'm Douglas Mason, President and CEO of Rainy Mountain Royalty Corp., RMO, on the TSX Venture Exchange. Rainy Mountain's Brunswick property is located in the Rideout Shear Zone in Ontario, with grab samples running as high as 32 grams per ton gold. A follow-up drill program to test numerous targets located by recent groundwork is planned for early 2018. Please visit our website at rmroyalty.com.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and the Yukon. Trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the pink symbol ABN-AF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, are we going to see lawsuits in connection to Wi-Fi radiation from cell phones and so on, the same way that there were lawsuits against the tobacco industry?
This is what many people are predicting, Jim. And there are some lawyers, one in particular right now who went after the tobacco industry. He's the one who got a pretty big settlement in Quebec for smokers. He's now going after the oil industry, finding that, you know, they knew that there were dangerous products. They knew that there were things that were being done wrong, and he's going after them. But I think that he should be looking at the wireless industry. Not only is this industry the most profitable, what I've read recently, it is the most profitable in the world. A couple of years ago, it was second to oil and gas. The profits are huge, but they've been lying. They know, and they knew for the last 30 or 40 years at least, that microwave radiation is dangerous. They have had their own scientists who have done studies, and they have stifled the studies. They have threatened scientists who have done independent studies, like Dr. Henry Lai. They have taken away his funding. They went to the university and threatened to stop funding various programs at the university if they allowed him to continue on, and he lost his funding. This is what's happening with the telecommunications industry and with the wireless industry. They know these things are dangerous. They won't even allow labels to be put on. They are, like the cigarette industry, aiming many of their products and their advertisements at children who are the most vulnerable. Look at all these wireless devices, the iPads and the tablets. They're telling kids and parents, the kids can sit there and entertain themselves. They can look at the movies or they can play games. They don't tell people, put this in airplane mode so it's not emitting while the kids are using it. They're having little potty chairs with Wi-Fi things on there so the kids can, be entertained while they're learning how to go to the toilet. I mean, they are not only aiming at children, they are threatening the health of children. And yes, I believe that it's just a matter of time because before there are some major lawsuits. We've already seen some lawsuits in other countries. For instance, the Vatican was sued. It allowed some radio stations to have their transmitters on top of the Vatican. And the level of cancer cases, the number of cancer cases in Rome, within the vicinity of the Vatican, was outlandish. And people sued, and the Vatican lost. There have been other lawsuits going on. One of the problems that we've mentioned before is that insurance companies will not insure against health claims. So any claims that are going to be, made will hit the individuals who are either putting cell towers on their yard, allowing them to be put on their apartment buildings, or ideally it's going to be going after the companies themselves who are absolutely guilty of allowing this harm to be done.
Well, it was on this show that you broke the news that insurance companies wouldn't cover health damage caused by Wi-Fi radiation. I never heard any reaction from the industry from it at all, and of course they don't return phone calls.
No. It was maybe 3 or 4 years ago when a member of the coalition sent me his insurance policy, and I read through the policy and I found a section in it that says that claims related to RF and wireless devices will not be paid by Lloyd's. Lloyd's of London, as many people know, is one of the major insurers in the world. They are known for insuring the uninsurable. Car racers and skiers and things like that. Professional people who take risks can get insurance claims. Nope, not the wireless industry. And this should tell you something. They know that these things are dangerous, and they also know that claims are coming down the road. They're not going to allow something like asbestos to cause them to pay huge sums in claims. And we are being faced with this. We are being forced to have things on our home. We are having our children told that these toys are good. We're being lied to, left, right, and center, about the safety of wireless devices. People deserve to know. Excuse me. And by asking, for instance, a cell phone to carry the same message that they have hidden in their manual, saying, do not have a cell phone anywhere near your body, any part of your body. This should be on the box. It should be on the device itself, so people can make a knowledgeable decision about whether they want to buy this or not, or to use it. But the cell phone industry is fighting. Berkeley's the only place so far I know in North America where they're allowed to have a label anywhere or a notice in the store where people buy these things. We're being sold down the river, Jim, big time, and we're going to pay for it with our health.
We'll have more with Sharon Noble right after this.
I'm Larry Ray, President and CEO of American Manganese, Inc., listed on the TSX Venture, ticker symbol AMY, A-M-Y, with proprietary patents in the U.S., China, and South Africa. Our focus is on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. China recently legislated the responsibility for recycling onto their electric vehicle manufacturers and importers. For more information, please visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
In Goddard we trust.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Sharon Noble. Sharon, what have you heard about studies done into the effects on biology from all of this hidden radiation that we're faced with every day?
Well, Jim, as you know, there are thousands and thousands of studies, that show that there are major problems with microwave radiation. One of the most significant ones that I've ever seen is the BioInitiative report. The first BioInitiative report came out in 2007, 2008, and it was just amazing. I think it was 29 independent scientists went through all of the studies that they could find to show that, in fact, that there were health effects. The purpose of this was to argue the fact that, when industry and industry-affiliated people were saying there's no evidence of harm, these scientists, these independent experts knew that wasn't true. So they got together and they went through thousands of studies, and they put about 2,000 of them together, that what they felt were the 2,000 most important or the most compelling studies that showed that there was harm. This was in 2007. And then in 2012, there was an updated version that showed studies that were primarily done between 2006, 2007, and 2012. And there were hundreds of them. I think it was 1,800 were summarized in the updated version of 2012. Now there are some more studies that are being added, and just as recently as December 15th, a new summary came out, and one of the most important ones, I think, was done by Henry Lai, who I mentioned earlier. He has always written and reviewed studies for the BioInitiative reports. He's so highly respected, and he's such an excellent scientist. But what I found was really interesting, he's gone through various sections. For instance, he has used primarily studies that have been done since about 2004, 2005, but I would say at least half of them have been done in the last 3 or 4 years. And he has found that by a large percentage, these studies show that there is serious harm. For instance, in one section that's called ELF and EMF, oxidative effects, there are 186 studies. 90% of them show harmful effects. In another section, in RFR, these are different frequency types, whether it's low-level frequency or the microwave frequency. He's got 200 studies. 90% of those show harm. He goes on and on and on. And this is the type of thing, Jim, that we should be sending off to people like Health Canada. We should be sending this off to Perry Kendall. These should be sent off to the World Health Organization, because these groups are responsible for allowing the industry to say that there's no evidence of harm. They do that by their weasel terms. Health Canada is saying there's no compelling evidence. That's why they allow Safety Code 6 to be outdated and to be one of the worst guidelines in the world. That's why they allow our children to be exposed to Wi-Fi in schools. And they allow people like Perry Kendall, who's our provincial health officer, to allow Wi-Fi to be in schools and to allow smart meters to be on our homes. They say that there's no compelling evidence of harm. Why is it that all these independent scientists like Dr. Henry Lai can find hundreds and hundreds of studies at all frequencies of all types, whether it's the low-level frequencies that are coming through as dirty electricity, for instance, from smart meters, or microwave frequencies that are on from cell phones and from Wi-Fi modems and from smart meters. They're showing that there is serious harm of all sorts, ranging from autism, other neurological problems, increase in Alzheimer's, to cancers. Do you know the number of glioblastomas from cell phones is increasing dramatically? I had yet another famous person with a glioblastoma who died just recently. We're hearing of these people over and over and over again, but yet cancer societies in the industry are saying it's not happening. People need to get into the BioInitiative report, and they can go in by looking at www.bioinitiative.org. The information there is just amazing. And the summaries are easy to read. They provide abstracts of studies that tend to be a little bit more complicated, but spend a little time with it, and you will see that there are thousands. The estimate now is that there are over 23,000 studies showing harm. And in the last 5 to 6 years, the mechanisms are being explained. The scientists are now understanding how this is happening and why it's happening. And we have to demand that this carcinogenic toxin be stopped before it's too late. Too much damage is being done to our children.
Sharon, anything else you'd like to add before we go today?
No, I think that, these are the most important things that I can think of right now. I'm still fighting the smart meter and the fact that nobody is paying any attention to my fire report. Still waiting for the BC Utilities Commission. Still waiting for John Horgan, Minister Mungo, to read it and to respond. I think that is becoming more and more urgent for us to demand a recall. And as this insurance person, the first article that we discussed today, the insurance industry is admitting that these smart things, with their designs, with their design flaw, and the fact that there is no standard for them. There is no standard to ensure safety. As a consequence, we've got fire hazards on and in our home, and we need to demand that these be recalled. And I hope in 2018, all of your listeners will work with me, will demand that these things be recalled.
Sharon, where can people get more information or contact you?
The website is www.stopsmartmetersbc.com, and they can leave messages there, and I will get them.
Thank you very much for chatting with us.
Thank you, Jim, and I wish you and everyone the very best for 2018.
Exactly the same to you.
Thank you.
My guest has been Sharon Noble, Director of the BC Coalition to Stop Smart Meters, and she just mentioned her website for you. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. If you have any questions for us or our guests, they can be emailed to info@howstreet.com. You can find us on the YouTube. Some people call it that these days sometimes. Our popular YouTube channel is TalkDigitalNetwork.com. I'm Jim Goddard. Happy holidays.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.